Hello students, today we will study Indian economy. Unit 1 Development Policies and Experience starting from 1947 till 1990. Chapter 1 Indian Economy on the Eve of Independence. Under this, we are going to study the new topic, that is demographic condition. So let's get started. As far as demographic condition is concerned, so you might be thinking that what is this demographic condition? So, in order to understand any country's structure or its status, so we need to study the country's population regarding various aspects like literacy rate, standard of living, death rate, birth rate, mortality rate, right? Life expectancy, etc. After studying all these factors, we get to know about the status of a country. So let's see the demographic condition at the time of independence, or you can say it as under British rule, that what was the demographic profile at that time. So the first is demographic condition. So demographic condition deals regarding the population of British India. So this demographic condition which we are talking about on the eve of independence, it deals with the population of British India, which was primarily obtained through the census in 1881. So you can say that the first population census was calculated in the year 1881. Though suffering from several conditions, it unveiled the unevenness in Indian population growth. So, although the country India on the eve of independence was suffering from several kind of the issues, as we have already seen, like agricultural issue or exploitation, industrial exploitation, foreign exploitation, right? Beside that also, it has revealed the growth rate was very uneven. It was not very stable. It was very strange, right? So let's see why it was uneven. Consequently, every 10 years such census procedures were conducted. If you're talking about any population census, so after 10 years only the population used to be calculated, or the population census used to be generated. So first population was calculated in the year 1881, and after 10 years then again the population used to, or you can say it as every 10 years, after every 10 years the population census used to get a data regarding the population of a country. Now prior to 1921, India was in the initial step of demographic transformation. So before 1921, the demographic transition is a period through which you find the changes in the, you can say it as the demographic profile of a country, right? And demographic profile, what does it we have already talked about various aspects of the population. We study the various aspects of population. So population growth. So let's see that how this 1921 has brought up the changes, right? So let's move on to the next slide. Here we will talk about specifically demographic transition which took place on the eve of independence. So let's move. As far as demographic transition is concerned, so it is a kind of model. This model was used to represent movement. It was presenting the movement of high birth and high death rates to low birth and low death rates. So you can say that earlier it was very high and then later it became low, right? So how they used to represent it, that is your demographic transition. Through the demographic transition only we used to present what? We used to present the death rates and the birth rate, which was very high earlier and then later on it became low. as a country develops from pre-industrial to industrialized economic system. So from pre to industrialized means pre-industrial society to the industrialized economic country, it has seen several demographic transitions. In the pre-industrial economy, there was, you can say it as very high birth rate and the high death rate. When it became industrialized, the birth and the death rate became low, right? So let's study it in more detail in the next slides. Now, in this particular slide, we will study about the demographic transition in India. What was the status of the demographic changes or the transition or the condition in India, right? So, let's see what was the condition. So, the first thing is that as far as population is concerned of the British India, when the country India was under the control of Britishers, so that was called as British India. So the first population census was calculated in year 1881. This we have seen in the previous slide also. Second point is census of 1881. This census of 1881 has presented very unevenness in terms of the population growth. What was that unevenness? What was not stable? What was very strange? So the strange was that it has means India has witnessed at that time in 1881 or during 1881, the population was very uneven. Now, in what terms it was uneven? Because the rate of birth and death was very high. The rate of birth and death both was very high, right? Now, let's see what else. Second thing is that during this period, and this implies India was on stage 1. So, because of the very high birth rate and death rate, the demographic transition profile says it was the first stage of transition. Now, you need to understand one point over here, that as far as the high birth rate and high death rate is concerned, it means you need to understand that if you are taking a figure of 1000 lives, right? So, in this 1000 people or 1000 children, you might say that if the rate of growth is high, suppose 20 children used to take, it's just an example, suppose 20 children new birth used to take place, then there might be 30 deaths, right? So you can say that both was very high, and due to which the stability was not over there. And this point also tell us that it means at that time when the new lives which were taking place, there was nobody to handle them, because death rate was also very high, and which ultimately has brought up the poverty, right? Now let's move further. Third point says in year 1921, which is considered as the year of great divide. Why this 1921 is considered as the year of great divide? Let's see. After 1921, India has experienced continuous growth in the population, because after 1921 only India found its growth in the population. So that is the reason it is considered as the year of great divide or defining year. Why? Because at that time the death rate started falling. It means they were the people to handle the new lives, and they were there to maintain the sanitation also. They were there to maintain the fooding supplies too. So, due to how it became stable, due to the improvement of health facilities, while the birth rate remained high, this clearly indicates that demographic transition was in the second stage. So, as the population started increasing, it means that the proper health facilities they were taking at that time, sanitation was available, and due to which the people started surviving, and the birth rate was stable, and the death rate was also stable. Now let's move on to the next slide. Now this slide tells us separately about the stages. So stage 1 says pre-transition period. It says in the stage 1 pre-industrial society, death rates and birth rates are high. So in the pre-industrial society, both things were very high. Mean the death was also at the high rate and the birth was also very high rate. In the same ratio, people were dying also and were creating lives also. And that is the reason it was a stagnant, it was very backward, it was very stuck and stopped kind of the population census or the growth. Now second stage reveals it was early transition, means it was the beginning stage of the transition which has brought up some growth in the population. So in the beginning stage what happened, that the second step for the transformation that rose in the after 1921, it was neither the cumulative population of India nor the rate of the population increase at this step was high. So at this stage the population was not increasing at a very very high rate, right? So it was somehow in a balanced way. Second point is that the many social development signs were also very really promising. So as far as the social development is concerned, this that was not very very promising under the British rule, because we have already talked about we were under the British rule. The comprehensive, now we will talk about the literacy level under the British rule. So at that time it was very less, approximately 16%, and out of that 16 the female literacy was very very low, that was very negligible, you can say it as only 7%, that was 7%, right? It means you can imagine that how low the female literacy level was. It means that the women participation was very very less in terms of education also, and in terms of any other thing also. And if we'll go for overall literacy rate, so it was only 16%. And the public health facilities were very not very you can say it as grand, it was unavailable to exist in parts of the extensive parts of the population, or when obtainable very highly lacking. So as far as the public health facilities were concerned on the eve of independence, so first of all, so it was not at all available, and wherever it was available also, it was in scarce, right? So let's move on to the next slide, I hope it is clear. Now we will talk about the defining year or the year of great divine, why it was called as the year of great divine or divide. As far as the year of great divide is concerned, that was the year, which year it was? Yes, very good, 1921. So in the year 1921, which is regarded as the defining year or the year of great divide, because before, means prior to 1921, the population growth in India was never consistent. Why this year is a great divide year? Because before 1921 the population was not at all consistent, it was backward, it was very stagnant, and that's the reason it was this 19 means after 1921 it, we can see the consistency rate in terms of birth rate also, in terms of your death rate also, life expectancy also, in terms of standard of living also. That is the reason it was the year of great divide. Now next point says that India was in the first stage of demographic transition till 1921. So till 1921, I mean the border of 1921, till that time it was in the first stage, and after 1921, you can say it as it was characterized as the second stage, right? And as far as the first stage is concerned, the birth rate and the death rate both were very high. Now third point says it implies low survival rate. So definitely if the birth rate is also very high, death rate is also very high, so you can imagine that what is the life expectancy, right? So people used to survive, means if you are taking the figure over here, nearly 8 per thousand, 8 per thousand, you imagine, it means that out of 1000 people only 8 used to survive, only 8, such a very low figure. So that is the reason our life expectancy was very very low at that time. Now last point says that therefore the period before 1921 has witnessed stagnant population growth rate, and that is the reason we say that before 1921 it was a very stagnant, very stuck kind of the population growth. But after 1921 India's population growth never declined, means after that it has never took any back step. Now after this 1921, the India's population growth never declined also, and it was very consistent. It was going upward, right? Okay, so now let's move on to the next slide. Now we will study the India's demographic profile, right, or the demographic profile of India starting from 1947 till 1990, and not only this, but also the latest records, right? Present records also we will discuss. So let's move. Now, as far as the demographic condition during the British rule exhibited following features of stagnant and backward Indian economy. So, we are talking here specifically about the demographic condition during the British rule, means on the eve of independence or under the British rule, what kind of features it has presented, right? Along with it, we will take the present features as well. So let's see first what was the condition under the British rule. So first we will discuss about the low literacy rate. So as far as the rate is concerned, we have already seen that the overall literacy rate was only what I should say only I should say very less even than that of 16%, and which increased 74% 74.4% by the time of 2011. And out of this 16%, only 7% was the rate of literacy for women, right, or the females. So you can say that on the eve of independence it was only 16%, and by 2011 it raised to 74%. So you can see such a great change. Now let's move on and study the another factor. Now we have low level of standard or the standard of living. So let's see why the standard of living on the eve of independence was very low. First, the case or the problem is at the time of independence, people used to spend 80 to 90% of their income on basic necessities. Now you can imagine 80 to 90%. If suppose you are earning 100%, out of this 100%, 80 to 90% you are spending only for the basic food uh, facilities like food, clothes, shelter, basic necessities. You are spending your money, and it means that you have no luxurious life. At that time people were having no luxurious life. They cannot even imagine about the luxuries, because second point, see, now you see the this spending was not adequate for the satisfaction of their needs. So it means that this out of 80% and 90% of their salary or the income which they were spending on the basic necessities, that was also not adequate. They were not able to satisfy their basic needs. There was no satisfaction. Now next thing is that some parts of India were severely affected by severe famines and million dead. What is this famine here? Famine is the scarcity of food or food scarcity. So that has severely affected country India. Now the last point is the worst famine. If you will have to see the worst famine, worst food scarcity in India, so that was in Bengal. Which year? 1943. And the rate of people died, that was 3 million people died because of the food scarcity. So you can imagine that this food scarcity was, or the famine was, the basic problem which has severely affected the country India, right? Now let's move on to the next slide. Now we will see about high birth and death rate. So as far as the death rate and birth rate is concerned, we have already seen on the eve of independence both were very high. The death rate was also very high, the birth rate was also very high. Now let's first understand what is birth rate and death rate. So see the first point, it refers, means birth rate, it refers to the number of children born per 1,000 people in a year. So if we are taking 1,000 people as an example, so per year out of this 1,000, how many children are taking birth? That is called as birth rate, right? Now death rate, it refers to the number of people dying per 1,000 people in a year. Now in a year out of this 1,000, how many people are dying? That is called as death rate. Now let's see the last point in this category. Both birth rate and death rate were very high, nearly 48 to 40 per thousand respectively. So if you will talk about on the eve of independence, at that time the birth rate was also very high and the death rate was also very high. You can see the figure over here, about 42 or 48 per thousand and 40 per thousand, right, respectively. So 48 per thousand is for birth rate and death rate was 40 per thousand. So you can see it's such a very great figure that the rate at which the people are taking birth, in the same rate they are dying also. And if you will take the recent factors or the fact about birth rate and the death rate in the year 2020, 2020, so it is about 18.2 births per thousand. How much? In year 2000, 2020, we have it as 18.2. Okay, 18.2 is per thousand. So you can see how decreased it is now. Now we will see about the death rate of, if you will see of the recent facts regarding the death rate. So it is 7.3 deaths per thousand, means per thousand out of this thousand, 7.3, very less number of the people are dying, and very less number of the people, you can say it as the rate of birth has been, you can say it as decline, and due to which the consistency can be maintained in the economy, right, or in the country. Now let's talk about the next point, that is the poor health facilities on the eve of independence. So at that time the first thing is that there was a lack of public health facilities for the majority of the population. So as far as the public facilities is concerned, or the public health facility is concerned, it was very less. We have already seen in the previous slide also that first of all it was unavailable. Second thing is, wherever it was available also, it was lacking behind, right. Last point regarding this is, as a result, because as the public health facilities was not available at that time, so as a result of it, there was a widespread water and airborne diseases. So airborne disease, as you can see, right now we are suffering from COVID-19, which is communicable disease, right. So you can relate that at that time there were so many diseases which were airborne. As you can see, as the status of today's public health facilities, we are definitely upgraded as far as compared to the Indian economy on the eve of independence, right. Still we are fighting with this COVID-19, and somehow we are in a better state as compared to the other countries. But you can now imagine about the status of the country at that time, when there were no public health facilities and the people were suffering from various kind of airborne diseases, right. So let's move on to the next slide. I hope it is clear. Now we will talk about infant mortality rate. So as far as infant mortality rate is concerned, so it refers to, on the eve of independence we are talking here, it refers to number of infants dying before reaching the age of 1 year per thousand live births in a year. So it says that as far as infant is what, the newborn babies, so they were dying. The rate of dying infant, you can say, was very high at that time, because at the age of 1 year, 1 year per thousand live births in a year. So it was very difficult for a child to survive 1 year, if you are talking about the per thousand lives, if they have taken birth in a particular year. Now, lack of adequate public health facilities, definitely why the children were dying, because of the poor or degraded public health facilities. So, and also definitely there was a frequent natural calamities. Famine resulted in the widespread poverty and high infant mortality rate. So as we have already seen about the food scarcity was also available at that time. There was there was lack of the food, because of which the poverty was also the case, which has generated the high mortality rate. The next point is, it was quite alarming about, now we will see that what was the rate of the people or the children dying per thousand. So it was 218 per thousand, means out of 1000, 218 children were dying. Such a great figure, and which in contrast to today's, if you'll see, the infant mortality rate is around 29 per thousand. This is the fact related to 2020, right? So recent fact says that it is 29 per thousand, means now only 29 children are dying out of 1000. So you can say such a great change over there. In the same way, if you will talk about the today's standard of living also, so in if you will talk about today's standard of living, so definitely it varies from state to state, right? In 2019, the poverty line, definitely it has further reduced. The poverty line has reduced. If the poverty line has reduced, then definitely all the things will be in a stable position. So it was about 27%. I'll repeat, it was 27% in 2019 when it reduced. And then what happened? What was the situation? India is no longer holds the position of nation with the largest population under poverty, and that because of this only, when the poverty line has reduced, now the nation of India has not at all considered as the nation where so many people are living in a country, but there is no what, food supply, right? We have the appropriate food supply now, and that is the reason the Indian population is not under poverty. Definitely, if you will take this today's situation of COVID-19, you can say that this is very appropriate for the country India, where right now everybody is staying at home, not doing anything, but still they are getting food at their doorsteps, right? Now, what else is the Indian middle class, if you will talk about. So, middle class consists of, if the overall population you have taken, so out of overall population, 40 million, that can be almost 3% of the population is middle class people, right? Okay, so I hope this particular point is also clear to you. Now let's come up to the next one, that is low life expectancy on the eve of independence. First we will see. So it refers to the average life of a person, means up to what life, मीन्स अप टू हाउ मेनी ईयर्स दैट पर्सन कैन सर्वाइव, कितना जी सकता है कोई एक पर्सन, कितना जी सकता है, दैट इज़ ओनली कॉल्ड एज द लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी, दैट हाउ फॉर हाउ मेनी ईयर्स ही कैन सर्वाइव, right? So the second point says that it was very low for around 32 years. 32 year is a very less figure right now. So we can see, even I can say some of, even in your family also, might be your grandmother, grandfather have survived for more than 1000, or sorry, more than 100 years. 1000 is very great figure. More than 100 years they might have survived. But just imagine about the case when it was on the eve of independence, because of the lack of facilities regarding the sanitation, regarding the poor health facilities, there was a lack of the food, right? Due to which the people were dying at a very early age, very tender age of 32 years. You can see here 32 years. Now if we will compare it with the today's figure of 2020, so it is 69 years at least in an average a person used to survive. It is an average, right? Average is 69, and out of this 69, around 69 I'm talking about, right? It is around 69. So this almost 69, out of this almost 69.7%, I should say actually, the rate for males, it is 68.4 years they used to survive, and as far as female is concerned is 71.2 years they used to survive. Such a very interesting fact you can see here regarding the life expectancy at present, right? So I repeat, 69 years in totality. For male it's 68.4 years, and for female it's 71.2 years, right? Okay, now let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so we are at the end of this video, and we can see some important questions over here. First I have is MCQs. The first question is, dash refers to a widespread scarcity of food, hunger, starvation, caused by crop failure, government policy, etc. So, which condition you say talk about the scarcity of food? We have talked about the scarcity of food is called what? So, options are available to you. Second question is dash refers to an average number of years that a person can expect to live. What is called as the average means what refers to where we study about the average life of a person, that you have to tell. The next question is life expectancy at the time of independence was, means on the eve of independence what was the life expectancy. So we have seen what was the life expectancy on the eve of independence, right? Now let's move on to the next question. Question number 4 says, what do you mean by demographic condition of India? So you have to discuss the demographic condition of India. India means British rule. At the time of British rule, what was the condition? And even you can mention some facts regarding today. The next question is, what was the state of demographic transition in India? Then about the demographic transition also we have discussed in the video. So from there you have to talk about the status of India's demographic transition. Question number 6 is, explain the stages of demographic transition in India in detail. So definitely we have talked about two stages. First stage, now the question arises in my mind that can you tell that which year the first population census was studied or calculated under the British rule? Yes, you are right. It is 1881. So you have to talk about the first stage and the second stage. Now the question number 7 is, explain the demographic profile of India. We have studied it in detail regarding all the aspects of a population growth, right? So you have to explain it in detail, taking the recent facts too. Now question 8 is, which is regarded as a defining year to mark the demographic transition from its first to second decisive stage. So from first to second stage, which year is considered as a defining year, or we have studied in the video the great year of divide or the year of great divide, right? Now last question is, give a quantitative appraisal of India's demographic profile during the colonial period. So there's nothing to worry about this question. You have to tell in detail that what was the condition of Indian, you can say it as demography under the colonial period, taking the facts related to it, as we have already discussed about the facts related to the you can say it as the demographic profile of India under the British rule, where there was low level of standard or the standard of living. Then there was also low life expectancy. Then we have seen the mortality rate also. Then we have talked about the high death and birth rate also. These all the factors you can include while writing the appraisal regarding the quantitative factors related to this question of India's demographic profile under British rule we are talking. So here you will not mention any facts related to the present data. Okay, so I hope this much is clear to you. Now thank you so much for watching.